Misfits 9 will be the greatest YouTube boxing card of all time, and many people have said that. People behind the scenes who have been offered fights on it already have said that from what they've heard, Misfits 009 will be on another level in YouTube boxing when it comes to the sheer amount of star power on one card. Now, we already know that it's KSI versus Tommy Fury on the main event, along with a double main event with Logan Paul. And today, I want to quickly go over some possible fights to be on Misfits 009 and how I think each one will go down. Firstly, let's predict Logan Paul's opponent. As most people have speculated, it's probably Dillon Danis. And the reason we say this is because if you look at the X on the Misfits 9 logo, you can clearly see KSI's bandana next to Tommy Fury's name, I guess. They really couldn't think of anything to use as like Tommy Fury's symbolism. The bottom left symbolism is obviously to represent Logan Paul, as we know he's on the card, so yeah, that's obviously him. And it obviously makes sense that his opponent would be the bottom right, which is leopard print, which we've seen before in Misfits 4, where KSI was meant to be fighting Dillon Danis before Danis pulled out. But on that card, KSI was also represented in the X with a bandana, and Danis was represented with the leopard print. So obviously it's more than likely that Dillon Danis is officially Logan Paul's boxing opponent. This would make the two main fights of the night KSI versus Tommy Fury and Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis. Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis, I honestly see Logan Paul stopping Danis in maybe the 4th round or the 5th round, if it's 6 rounds that is, which is what I'm assuming. Hopefully it's 6 rounds and not 4, or at least maybe even 8, that would be very cool. And as for KSI versus Tommy Fury, it honestly depends. I got either KSI with a very early finish or mid-fight finish to Tommy Fury on points. I don't see Tommy Fury knocking out KSI. I think KSI is just way too careful about that now. It's not like we're in the Logan Paul 2 fight when he was just rushing and blitzing. KSI's smart with how he boxes now. I don't think he's going to get stopped. But I do think Tommy definitely has a very good chance to win on points, which is what Tommy usually does anyway. As for the undercard, I'd definitely like to see a rematch between Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks. I mean, they already talked about being on this card, so it makes sense. Deji versus Alex Wasabi too, or Deji versus Liam Payne would also be very good and exciting. Definitely like to see that. Joe Fournier returning, I wouldn't even mind that as well. I think that would be quite good, actually. I think Joe Fournier, if he can come and prove that he's actually decent, would be a big statement, to be honest. And he could probably stay as a Misfits fighter for a while. Slim vs Salt Papi is well overdue to be fought for the light heavyweight championship of Misfits, and I think that would be a very exciting match, and I'm not even sure who would win that one. I'd probably edge it for Papi, but Slim definitely has a chance. And Nissan Gibb, I would love to see him on the card, but he probably won't be on the card due to the whole Kingpin tournament thing, and he is in the finals, so you can't really blame him, although I would love to see him on the card if he could by some miracle. Maybe against Slim if Salt Papi don't want it, or maybe against someone else, who knows. I hope this card doesn't have the Happy Punch prelims, just because I feel like they take up space and don't have that much value on Misfits, but they are very good for the lesser Misfits cards, like for example the last Misfits 8. I think the prelims are perfect for fights like that. However, I just don't want to see any Misfits prelims on 09, but if there are Misfits prelims on 09, I'd certainly like to see Korn vs Unbear 3. I think that could be pretty fun to watch, as well as Bad Boy Beeman making his Misfits debut as well. But if there aren't Misfits prelims, some more notable names that could come out into the Misfits card could be like Swarms, Christian Hanby, maybe Alex Wasabi not against Deji, you know what I mean? Nick LeMayo, B-Dave, Pineda would be pretty funny. FaZe Temper would be a very good shout. Blueface, Ed Matthews, fuck it, man. Get Simple Simon versus Chef Dave in there, just fuck him. That's the end of this video, guys. Quick little video on Misfits 9. Tell me in the comments what you want to happen on Misfits 9, what you think the fights will be like. Who do you think is going to win, KSI or Tommy Fury? Let me know in the comments, and I will argue with you all night until one of us cries while we sleep. See you in the next video, guys.